Hi, it's me. Is anybody there? I haven't even looked to see if anybody even paid attention to what I posted. I'll look right now and see if anybody, maybe I'll just say something to you guys and let you know I'm here. Hi. That wasn't really a hi. Are you there? I don't know if I'm live or not. Shoot. I pushed the wrong button. Oh. Hi. I wanted to, I'm going to give you 3 readings, but I wanted to tell you guys something, so I want to make sure, I'm going to get a couple people online. I pressed the wrong button. It probably recorded on there, I swore. God, I got a potty mouth sometimes. I wanted to, hi Liz, I'll make sure that I've got you down here. Hold on a second, let me look. I've got my computer in front of me. I'm sitting here in front of my Monterey Bay Aquarium. Okay, notifications. Let's see if somebody said anything. Oh, they're all talking about my video from yesterday, I think. Oh no, I'm seeing myself live. That's a trip. See, you know what's interesting? Okay, I should probably keep this up because I can see you popping up. I can see you popping up when, hi. Okay. Hi, Christina. I can see you popping up right away on my computer, but I can't on my cell phone. So there's a delay on the cell phone. Hi. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys something that was really cool before I do this. So I've got, okay, let's get this straight. We got Liz first, we got Nancy. But I'm gonna do, like I said, I've got a few things I wanted to tell you guys about. So hold on a second. I wanted to tell you about something that happened with my daughter. Oh shoot, it's on my cell phone. Anyway, she says to me, my daughter has issues with. Let's roll it back a bit. My daughter had something really traumatic happen to her when she was young, and it's left her. She says she didn't believe it anyway, but it's left her with a confliction whether she believes in a God at all. It's hard for her to believe in what she can't see, unless it works for her. If it works for her, then all of a sudden, like if she needs help or if she's in a bad position, she'll say to me, Mom, she'll ask for help. But generally, she is kind of doesn't want to give her allegiance to a higher power. And she married a Jewish boy who, they both have the same boy. He's not a boy anymore. But they both have this kind of idea. His family is Jewish and he's not practicing. And he doesn't believe in Jesus. And anyway, together they both kind of don't have this religious or spiritual connection. But my grandson does. Now, as I said, my daughter had something really traumatic happen to her when she was very young. And she ended up having a child really, really young. And he was like my baby for the first 2.5 years of his life. He lived with me and with her. And so I was very, very close to him when he was little. And she ended up moving up to Canada when he was, I think, 2.5, and almost killed me to let him go. But it was good because he needed to form this bond, real connection with his mother. And hi. And anyway, my daughter turned into, she's the most amazing mother on the planet. She just really is. She's a better mother than I was. Absolutely, maybe she wasn't. I don't know. I say that. I just know that they have this super tight bond. And I had a lot of traumatic stuff happen too when my kids were little. And I had a man in the scene that made it difficult at the time to keep the relationship with my kids and I tight. Whereas she's got this freaking amazing husband. His name is Jacob, and he's, if I could have hand-chosen somebody, I would have picked him. And I look at their marriage, and I think, I want that in my life. They're best friends, and he is the most amazing stepdad to my grandson. But, as I said, she didn't like me talking about spiritual things with him. She's like, Mom, we don't believe in that. So I would say things like I do. I just kind of talk about what I believe, and she would say, we don't believe in angels. And Trey would say, he was just little, and he would say, I do. And I knew right away he was a crystal child. This child is so connected. If you looked at his eyes, you could see he's got crystalline eyes, and they're like my twins' eyes. They're the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. those two, they're like one and the same. And Trey would always ask me, you know, whenever he would see numbers, what does that mean, Nema? One day we drove up to his real birth father's house to drop him off, and he says, Nema, look at the numbers. And it was like 6 numbers, but the last 3 numbers were 444. And he said, what does that mean again? And he knew what it meant, but he always wanted me to answer him. And so my daughter and her husband were in the car, and they're like rolling their eyes, and I said, it means angels. There are angels everywhere around you. You are completely guided, protected, and loved. There's no reason for fear. And he said, yeah. And so he skips off into the house. And so he would do this all the time. He would constantly ask, you know, about, what does this mean, Nema? What is that? And my daughter would be like, and she would say, you know, we don't believe that in this house. And he would say, I do. And so he had his mind set already. He was already connected and awake and aware. And at his young age, we're talking like 6 years old. He was saying to his mom, I know, I believe, and you know, you may not, but I do. So he was very open about it, and he had no problem speaking up. And he's a very quiet, very super intelligent kid. This kid, he gets honor roll every year. He got president's honor roll, regular honor roll, math high rewards. He gets high awards in every single thing. Clearly that doesn't come from me, because I was not scholastically inclined, but my daughter works with them really, really hard every single day, homework, and she makes sure that he excels in school. And she says, you know, that's all I want is for you to excel in school. And they've got this super tight relationship. This child loves this woman. When she was going through these really difficult times, she was agoraphobic. I told you she couldn't leave the house. She was stressed out, and she didn't want anybody to see her, and she'd put on a lot of weight, and she'd go in the closet and cry because she didn't want him to see her crying. She got that from me, you know. She wanted to protect him. And he'd come into the closet, and he would just know what to say. Sorry, God, I do this every time. And he would just know, and he would say, Mommy, you're so beautiful. You're the most beautiful mommy I've ever seen. And then he'd just walk out. And she hadn't said anything. He didn't know why she was crying, and he just always knew what to say because he's so connected to spirit. So my daughter and I have had kind of a strained relationship, you know, and we're working on it. And she texted me the other day, and she says, Mom, you wouldn't believe it. She goes, Trey comes into me, and she says, you know how you say Grandma Nama has prophetic dreams? And she says, yeah. And she's probably thinking, God, here we go again. And he says, I had a dream last night that you were going to buy me these white Jordans. He wanted these Michael Jordan shoes. And when he got all of his awards at school, he said to his mom, you know, all I want is a pair of Jordans. You know, his uncle Devin, everything was Michael Jordan. Everything I used to buy him. He has every single one of Michael Jordan's jerseys and shoes and all the basketball players. And so Trey all of a sudden is into this too. And he wants these Jordans, but they're really expensive. So his grandpa in Canada, his Opa gave him $100, and he says, Mom, do you think I have enough money for these Jordans yet? And she says, no, you know, they're really expensive. And so I had gone, I was at my thrift store, getting all my stuff at my thrift store, and I come across these white Jordans. They're brand new. And I said, oh my God, Elise, look, there's these white Jordans. I sent her a picture, and I said, they're $20. And I'm doing 3 readings. So I don't know how many people have said that, but I'm doing 3. Spirit said 3, that's it. I'm cutting it off. I was on for 2 hours with you guys yesterday. Time gets away when I talk to you guys on live because I interact, I guess. And anyway, the Jordans were $20, and so she says, oh, he would love them. She goes, just get them and bring them home. He'd think he'd lost his mind. And they looked like they were brand spanking new. And somebody probably bought them for their kid, and they didn't fit them or something. But for some reason, we just kind of felt like that they weren't going to be the right size. I don't know why. They were a size 7, and he's a little kid, and I just felt like, I don't know, we decided not to get them for some reason. We just decided not. We put them on hold, and I didn't get them. So she says, he has this dream. He goes, I had this dream that you bought me these white Jordans, but I don't want white Jordans, Mom. I wanted black ones. Now, 10 minutes before she said he came in to talk to her, she texted me, because I have it all proof. It's all on proof on my cell phone. I wish I could have taken a picture and shown you guys. I was trying to type it all out, and I didn't have time to get that on to talk to you guys live. There was so much more that was said. But she goes, Mom, I went to my girlfriend's garage sale and I found these black Jordans. And she goes, they're like brand new and they're a bigger size. And she goes, I took them home and Trey's going to lose his mind. And so when he woke up, he came and said, I had a dream that you were going to buy me these white Jordans. And I don't want white Jordans. I want black Jordans. And she goes, oh my God. Now, and so she says, isn't that cool? And I said, of course, he knew. He knew, because that's why I wasn't supposed to buy them. And Trey knew. He was letting me know. He was letting us know. He knew what we were going to do. He knew what was coming. He already saw it. And he didn't want it, so he was trying to communicate with us. I got it the night before, because I get stuff the day before. And she didn't respond, and I thought she was rolling her eyes. And then she comes back and she goes, oh my God, you did. You were going to buy those white ones. And he didn't want white ones. So this is the conversation. I then sent a message to my grandson, Trey. And I said, Trey, I do have prophetic dreams. They show the future, and so do you. You are very connected. I saw a pair of white Jordans yesterday. I was going to buy them for you. And they weren't the right size, but we didn't know that for sure. But I decided, no, I'm not going to get them. There was a reason I wasn't supposed to get them. And you dreamed about that, and you knew that Mom would find the black ones today, so you manifested that. You were able to bring to you what you want. And you do have prophetic dreams, just like I do. So believe that. You're what's called a crystal child. And he sends back that emoji, I think it's called an emoji, with the big, oh my God, happy smile, like, are you kidding me? And I said, I have dreams, usually that tell me what's going to happen the next day, and that's what you just had. And he goes, oh my God, that's so cool. And I said, it is cool. It kind of shows you what's coming. So that I said, so you saw the white ones that I was going to get, and you energetically made sure that I didn't get those ones. Or because Spirit did, because you didn't want white ones. And the next day they were brought to you because you are manifesting what you desire. And your mom and I wanted to find them for you. So that was an energetic way that he was communicating with us. I said, so that was an example to show you, probably to show you that you have prophetic dreams. And it's pretty cool. I go, it shows you, I said, that's how Spirit shows me what's coming, and that's how they show me what to do. And that's how you were guided by God. I go, they give you a little glimpse into the future so you can see how to plan things of what's coming. So I said, so pay attention to your dreams. They're very important. And he sends back, dang, will it happen again? And I said, if you want it to, yes. Isn't that amazing, Trey? I said, I'm serious. I said, I mean seriously, Trey. That's how I figure out where I'm supposed to move, how to do certain things along the way. I missed a lot of this stuff because I wasn't able to type it down. I said, it's a way to warn you. It's a way to help you. It's a way to guide you. It's a way to help you figure things out. It's really super cool. It's a way to know what to do, what your next step is. It's showing you that you are connected to God, because I know that his mother doesn't believe in God. She says that all the time, but she does. She just doesn't want to. She fights it. I said, I knew it all along, though. I knew you were a crystal child. I said, you are what's called a crystal child. I knew it all along since you were little, but your mom didn't want you to know. She didn't want me to talk about it. I said, but you already knew. You knew that you had this connection to Spirit. That's why you would always ask what the numbers meant. He asked me all the time. And he would ask me in front of his mom and in front of Jacob, always. And it was almost like I'm going to work on her. I'm going to work on her. We're going to work on her together. That was kind of like what the deal was. And I said to him, remember when we would go to the movies and I would take notes. I literally sit there with my cell phone and I take notes. I take my grandson to the movies all the time. When we went to see The Hobbit, I spent the whole time with my head down. I'm looking up, looking down, because I was like, oh my God, there was just nothing but one ongoing message to me, and it was intense. And as I was typing things down, I couldn't do it fast enough. And he was looking over at my phone, and he goes, Nama, don't forget about this. That bear, and the wolf man. He knew what I was doing, and he knew the words. He knew the things that I wasn't getting. He was so connected. He does it to me all the time. And I said, you remember when I would write the words and the things down at the movies, and you would tell me the things I missed? And he goes, yeah. And I said, you were always giving me messages from Spirit. You are a connection. You are my guide. And I said, you are a very spiritual person. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's something to be excited about. It's something to show you that you are connected to the highest source, the source that created you. And he goes, wow, that's interesting. And I said, just pay attention to your dreams. Even if it's just something that you hear, like a sentence, you should write it down on a notepad. I said, I do it every single night. I put things down into my cell phone. I said, then you can look back and you can see how things happened that you have already dreamed about. And he's like, okay. So I sent him a picture of me. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what else to say. I don't want to pressure him. I want him to, clearly I'm not pressuring him because he's into it. But but I also feel that it's very, very important that with, I'm going to move this stuff away. I want to go outside with you guys. How do I do this? I'm doing too many things at once. So I've got a lot of people that have children that are very connected, and a lot of times the kids are connected and they're freaked out by it. I've had people that have come to me that have children that are mediums, and they've asked me for my help because it's scaring them and they don't know what to do. And one of the friends, she was a medium when she was a child, and she pushed it away. A lot of us do that. When I became one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I pushed it away from me. I didn't do it intentionally. I did it energetically, because I just knew that wasn't an area or a place in my life that it was going to be conducive. It wasn't going to be something that was going to be accepted by my German father, who's very controlling, and he was a Jehovah's Witness. There's no way he would allow that. So Spirit, my higher self, allowed it to go to sleep. Which was really sad, because my mother was a very spiritual person. She was a hippie when I was a kid, but when she married my dad, we became very, very devout Jehovah's Witnesses, and it was all put away. And as I said, when I was a little girl, I spoke to the language. I spoke the language of the animals. I literally spoke to the animals, and my whole family was aware of it. Even my dad. We didn't talk about it. You know what? He was probably not aware, because he didn't really pay much attention. He was working all the time, so he probably wasn't aware of what was going on. But my family knew, and my cousins knew, my brother, and anytime anyone would try and copy my language, they would. I know. I leave the radio on because my twin's talking to me right now. This is our song. And he was in my dreams last night. Actually, he was in my dreams this morning. It was pretty amazing. When my brother or my cousins would try and copy the language that I would speak, I knew that it wasn't for them, because they didn't understand it, and so I would change the dialect. And I would give them nicknames, though, in my language, in the animals' language. It was the animals' language, which is interesting, which, when I think about it now, it's probably just my star language. But I was able to communicate with animals. I'm very connected to obviously, that's why I'm a shaman. I'm very connected to the animals. So they would all, the kids in the neighborhood, they would say, "What does she call me? You know, what is my name?" And they all had strange names, and my children have very strange names. My daughter, only one, but my son had a lot. Probably, my son is my soulmate. He doesn't have anything to do with me. He cut me out of his life because he's a Jehovah's Witness. But he definitely is a soulmate of mine, and he's very much like my twin. It's funny, your family, you know, they prepare you for what's coming. But anyway, my son, he had all kinds of strange names that I would give him, and I'll tell you, I won't even tell you, because some of them they just sound ridiculous. I do remember, and they were just the nicknames that I would give them, and it went on. I remember the language until I was about 11 and a half, and we moved to California, and for some reason, when I moved to California, it was gone. It was gone. All I remember is my dog's name. My dog was named Benji, and his name was Biasabia. And one day I was talking to my son, and he says to me, "Biasabia, Mom, it sounds like Beelzebub. That's the devil." And I'm like, "Gosh, Devin, it's not Beelzebub. It's Biasabia. It's not the same. It's like saying Paula is the same as Philippe. No, it isn't. It starts with the same letter, but it's not the same word." And this woman that I met, my friend Sandy, I don't know if she's online right now. She's the little guy. Her little guy Derek is the one who's the channel. He's incredible. 3.5 years old, and he was channeling my twin to me. It was a trip. And she wrote to me, or she called me, and she said, I think Derek is talking your language." And I said, "What?" She goes, "I've heard certain words. You should ask him." And I said, "I only know one word." So I said to Derek, "Do you know? I think that you're maybe speaking the same language that I was speaking." And he said, "What, Mommy?" Now I got to tell you this. And then he looked at his mom and he said, "Don't be sad, Mommy. You're my mommy here, but Sherry and I'm not going to say my twin's name, Sherry and he named him, that's why it was so incredible, were my mommy and daddy in our other home." And it was like, oh my God, this child was a child of mine in a star. It sounds insane, but he knew his name. And he said, so I said, "Okay, I want to ask you, if you remember," because Derek is very connected, he's very young still, and when they're young, they're very, very close to spirit, because they just came here. And I said, "Do you know what the name Biasabia means?" And he said, "Of course. It means best friend, but you knew that, Mommy." And I thought, of course it would mean best friend, because my dog was my best friend, and I named him Bia Sabia. So, children, it's very important that we teach these children. We are here as teachers of the children to not fear their connection to spirit, not to think that they're weird. The song that's playing, I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background, it's called Demons by Imagine Dragons. Interesting. I have my connection to dragons. And he's saying, basically there's demons. I don't want you to see my demons. And I don't know how to, I want to hide the truth. Basically it's, I don't know how to deal with this unless you can show me how. And I know it's my twin talking, because the demons, it's kind of like there's a song that says, I hear voices. There are guns in my head. There are guns in my head, and they're do you know the song? I wish somebody could tell me what it is. Hi, hi, hi. Anyway, you want these children to not grow up and think they're weird. You want these children to not grow up and think that they're hearing demons in their head. You want them to grow up and know how blessed they are, that they are so connected to their supreme source, where they came from. God, my nose is gonna get all red. And so for me, see, my twin is telling me, I want to save that light. Your light, you're so bright, I want to save that light. I don't know how unless you show me how. So I'm trying to show him right now that there was another little boy that heard voices too. And he's loved for it, and he's accepted, and whether his mother doesn't understand it, and tries to push it away, I understand. And there's always going to be somebody that's going to be there for these children, and we need to not let these kids think that there's something wrong. We need to not let these children believe that there's something weird going on with them. We don't want to be somebody who is going to have their child committed because they're hearing voices, or an adult committed. I have had so many of these friends of mine have that happen, or told that they're schizophrenic, or told that they're crazy, because they're not. I'm not crazy. I have prophetic dreams. My grandson is brilliant. He is a straight A student. He is an honor roll student. He is a loving, gifted, beautiful little boy. And he has prophetic dreams. He's not crazy. He's not hearing voices. He's got facts happening in front of him. And if that child has to be in that house to show my daughter, wow, what my mom has been telling me, this is true. A lot of times we have proof in front of us and we push it away from us. So if you have things that are happening to you that feels awkward or feels strange, remember I told you yesterday, one of the cards we got was the eclipse, right? And we were going to be having prophetic dreams. We were going to be having revelations. We were going to be having truths told that were, and things that were going to be happening that might be scary to us. Somebody might have an apparition show up. My girlfriend had an apparition, had someone that had not crossed over, that was in the in-between place, appear in front of her. She was very, very angry. She was burned, and she was screaming and yelling, and my friend was very frightened, didn't know what to do. And I said, you know, she's lost. Just tell her to look to the light and go. She's not angry at you. She's just frustrated because she doesn't know what's going on. So sometimes that's what happens in our real life now. We wake up. We reawaken in this life, and we don't know what's going on. What's going on? What is happening to me? Why is this happening? And a lot of people get afraid and they try and push it away. A lot of people think they're going crazy. A lot of people start drinking. A lot of people take drugs. A lot of people, you know, they'll do whatever they can to push it away because they don't want to deal with it, because other people are going to think they're nuts, or they think that they're crazy, or they don't understand. It can be very frightening, very overwhelming. Hello. But it's something that you need to understand is a blessing, and it's there to guide you. It's your connection to your higher source, where you came from. Help you figure out what's coming. Help you figure out what decisions to make. Give you a warning that, hey, you know what, this is going to come up. This is how you should deal with this situation. You know, sometimes things happen that are so emotional that you don't know how you're supposed to deal with it. When it occurs at the moment, it's overwhelming. But if you've been given a heads up, you know, I saw this coming. The thing that happened with my stepfather, you know, walking out of my life again, my twin leaving my life, my daughter and I having our problems, I saw them all before they happened. It happened that way to show me I didn't understand. I'm here to tell you guys so that maybe you can now learn from me. If it happens to you, you understand why it's happening. I wasn't supposed to stop my twin from leaving. I was just supposed to see that it was going to happen, and what I was going to go through, and I was shown what he was going through before it happened, and I gave him a little bit of a glimpse so that he could be prepared, so it wouldn't hurt him so much. I wasn't supposed to stop it. It was just supposed to help me. And it did and it didn't. It frustrated me because I didn't understand. That's why I'm here to help you. And with my father, when it happened, I saw before it happened when it was going to go down, and I saw it with my daughter, and I was guided specifically when to go, what to say, how to handle it. My daughter said I handled it wrong, but I didn't. I was shown exactly what to do, what to say, and when to do it. And I did it exactly how I was shown. And as I was shown, it wasn't going to go well. It wasn't going to be received well. But in the end, it was for the highest good. And with my twin, I was shown that when I told him what was going to come, it wasn't going to go over well. He wasn't going to want to hear what I had to say because I warned him that someone that he loved and trusted was going to betray him. And he was very close to this person, and it didn't go over well. He didn't like it because he loved this person. And it did happen. And he's dealing with the fallout of it after all right now. And I want to leave it right there. I'm going to go back and see what you guys had to say, and I'm going to do 3 cards, but I'm going to do them differently this time. I want to go outside because I love it there, and because it's going to get hot pretty soon and I won't be able to hang out, and because if I have the music going on in the background, I'm going to... Oh, I want to show you. My room's clean. Here's my room. I told you guys I would let you see it. The song playing on the radio right now, they're talking about battling dragons. So this is my studio. That's how you come in from the main house. I don't know if that was too fast. And you know what? I don't know. I just heard in my head, you know, that's not very smart to do that because people can energetically come in. But they can't because my home is protected. I've got Archangel Michael all over the place. Actually, I'll show you up close and personal. I've got Archangel Michael right here. I've got Lakshmi right here. I've got my Happy Buddha. And my Happy Buddha, even though it is a peaceful warrior, has a sword. And the sword is in its sheath. We don't want to fight. I've got my pheasant feathers, which also represent something for me. I've got my Happy Buddha here. I've got protection everywhere I look. I've got my dream catcher with my crystals in it. And up here, I've got Uriel. This is the angel of light. That's my twin and I 20 years ago when we met. You can see that because he doesn't look like that now. And there's my Ganesh, the obstacle remover. And these are all animal totems. These are all animal totems. They all mean something. To me specifically, the cats, the elephant, the ladybug, the bee, again, the hand, it's the Om, you know, the lotus. Everything means love. My connection to the ocean, as well as my connection to music, is how spirit works with me. This is Anubis, the god of lost souls and the god of resurrection. He stands for my twin. And this is me, Bastet, the cat goddess. And look, I carry the Columbus sword, and he has his sword too. And then here is this is another area that I have, this means everything. This is my altar. There's so many things that this represents. There's my Black Panther. There's my twin holding me, the mermaid. All of these things, everything means something. And it's interesting, don't you see? I noticed this morning, the connection to the forest. These are all from the forest, and yet at the same time the connection to the ocean. So it's the mermaid, but I'm also connected to the land. And here we have, I have to show you something that's really incredible. My son, when he was 5 years old, made this. My son, who's a Jehovah's Witness, sorry, it's all lighted out, who's a Jehovah's Witness and doesn't believe in what I do and thinks that I'm demonic because of what I do, he made this, Anubis. And I had a storage unit. There's his name, Devin, 5 years old. He was in kindergarten. And I had a storage unit that had all my personal belongings in it. And it was sold. They sold my storage unit, and I lost everything, all of my 5 generations of family photo albums. I lost all of my children's baby books. I lost everything. And I had this one little tiny box, and with just a few things that I don't know why I had it, but I found it behind my couch, and in that box was that Anubis. I say it wrong every time. Hi, Lily. And it's my connection to I told you, my son is very much like my twin, and this means a lot to me. Okay, I'm knocking everything over. Now, my cat, I have to stop for a second. She's demanding. Yes? She she demands attention, and this is where she goes on her Cleopatra. See, this is why she's connected. She's me. This is the cat goddess. This is Bastet, and she's connected to the ancient Egypts. I have a past life in Egypt, and I've seen it, and it's a trip. All right, baby girl, I got to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna do. Can I see you guys? Let's see. I'm sitting in the wrong direction. I gotta move my chair. Sorry, this is a little discombobulated. You know I do things like this. It's a nice day. Oh, did you guys notice in the weekly reading? Remember I said that the Mockingjay came up, and I was all stressed out thinking that the Mockingjay was telling me that I had overstepped boundaries, and I had broken my twins' confidence, and I felt really guilty about that. The Mockingjay was speaking. I don't know if you guys noticed it. I put things at the bottom of my readings. I add information about the animal totems. I don't know if you guys... my rocking chair, this is a badass rocking chair. I found it at a garage sale, actually out on the street. The guy gave it to me. And it needs a pin. It just needs a pin to hold its little leggy in. But I still love it. So every time I go to move it, it falls apart. So sorry. So sorry. Anyway, the Mockingjay wasn't telling me that I broke his confidence. The Mockingjay was telling me to speak. That's what it was saying, and that's what it spoke about. It says to speak, find your voice and speak your truth, and let be heard what needs to be heard. So I'm so concerned that I was hurting him, and the Mockingjay showed up right then and said, let it out, let him hear you. He needs to hear it. So that was good. Hi! Thank you, beautiful room. Okay, I'm going to go back. All right. I'm sorry. I am only doing 3. Okay, so we've got Liz, Nancy. Now, hold on. Nancy. Liz and Nancy, I haven't done one for you recently because I have to be fair. I've done this a lot lately, and I'm not going to be doing it so much as I have been doing it. But I want to make sure everybody gets something that hasn't had a reading. So, Liz, if you haven't, and Nancy, if you haven't, I will do a reading for you. Otherwise, I have to skip and go to somebody else. And then Kitty, I know I don't think I've done you. So please tell me, Nancy, Liz, and Kitty, have you had a reading in the last 2 weeks from me? Can you please answer me? And while you're doing that, if I can put you somewhere so I can use my hands. I'm waiting for you to answer me. I'm not going to do anything until I get an answer. Gosh, I wish I could. Okay, Nancy? Cool. I'll do Nancy. Gotta figure out how to do this. This is annoying. You're in my pot. You're in my fairy pot. I got a fern when I was up in the mountains, and I'm trying to make sure. It was dead, but I wanted to see if I could bring it back to life. Okay. Can you pull a card for all? Oh, I absolutely can pull a card for everybody, absolutely. But you know what, you guys, I know everybody really, really wants one specifically for them, because but they're all for us. They are all for us. Spirit will grab cards that are applicable to the person, but they will pick cards also that apply for everyone else. It isn't just for the people involved, the people that I'm actually naming. Shoot. If I let this go, the wind's gonna blow it over. Jake, can you help me? Okay, I'm gonna use my twins' honeycomb. Shoot, can you help me out here, babe? No? Yes, thanks. Okay. So Nancy says no, I haven't had one. Liz says no, I haven't had one. And who is the other person? I'm terrified to touch this because I don't want to fall over. Kitty. Kitty, have you had one in the last 2 weeks? Good morning. You have not missed this live video. It's still going on. Can't you see? I'm constantly dropping things all over the place. Oh, and remember when I said I wondered what that meant? When the Buddha started to chime when I was standing there and I kept looking up at it. The Buddha had turned his head, and I was saying that I had spoken out of turn. The Buddha is what I call my twin. I call him my happy Buddha. And he started moving, and he's moving right now. He's basically saying, no, it's all good. I know, Kitty, but Kitty, did you have a reading before? Is what I want to know. Nancy, I'm doing first. And then Liz. Lily. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Interesting. Okay, so the 5 of winter. 5 again represents big changes in our life. Now what you see is this person walking away from, there's actually a couple that's walking away from this man, and he's holding a bunch of snowballs in his hands. And it's basically saying walk away from dishonest association, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, and something that's not worth the effort. So there, it's showing this man. He's standing there and he's watching these couples walk away from him, and he's standing there basically. So the idea is, you know, things didn't go the way they expected to, you know, possibly. So you want to ask Spirit to help you find a more successful path. So maybe you've been doing things in a certain manner and it didn't go the way you thought it was. They want you to stand in your integrity and recognize that whatever we send out is what comes back to us, right? So so what you're sending out is love. Love's going to come back. It may not come back from where you wanted it to come back, but it will come back to you. So they want you to walk away from what isn't working for you. If it's been very difficult, they want you to remember and say thank you to the ones that have helped you along in your journey. Always expressing gratitude. They want you to, the words in integrity, I love that word. So they want you to associate with people with high moral values, and that have compassion for the world. They want you to avoid negative individuals. So he's holding a snowball in his hand. I've got a different thought what's going on with there, but he's allowing these people to walk away from him. He doesn't want anything to do with that association. So it may be if you find yourself in a group setting with people that don't have integrity, who don't have high morals, who don't have compassion, it's about separating from them. Sorry, I am dropping things again. I'm constantly dropping, and I did that last night in my dreams. I was dropping things on the ground, and one of the things that I dropped on the ground was my twin. It was interesting. A letter for his name I dropped, and it was him. So basically, if you're linked, so what it's talking about is not just talking about people. If you're linked to organizations, like I was linked to the Jehovah's Witness organization, absolutely not in my highest good. I had to walk away from that association. It was dishonest. I was not going to be standing in my integrity, and I was a person of integrity. You've been very clumsy lately. I think everybody's been clumsy. I'm just dropping things. That's interesting. You know what? Think about that. I'm just dropping things. And remember, Lily regurgitated and threw something up yesterday. Dropping things. So drop the things that are no longer working. Drop the things that are not in your highest good. Drop them. That's what it's showing you. Drop them. Drop what isn't working for you, what wasn't possible for you. And make sure that you're around people that support you in your high ethics and your high, like-minded people, your soul family. This is who you need to hang with. It's talking about, I like this. Now, this is my message. This man, he's got these snowballs in his hand, right? He's successfully accumulated snowballs. And you know what snow is? Frozen emotion. So he's got these snowballs in his hand, but it's a very lonely victory. He's won the game, but he's lost the war. They're walking away from him. That's what I see. I see him standing alone holding his frozen snowball. You want to hold your emotions to yourself? You're going to be a very lonely man. People are going to walk out of your life. I'm dropping things. I am walking away. I'm moving on. And it doesn't mean that there wasn't love here. But if you want to be isolated, if you want to hold on to your little frozen snowball and win the snowball fight, you've lost your war. You've got to figure it out. And these people have decided for themselves, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort that I'm putting in. It's not worth my tears. It's not worth my upset to deal with somebody who's so frozen that he's not able to express himself emotionally, who's not able to open himself up. Or her. It doesn't have to be a man. They're just showing a man in this instance. So at this time, they're walking away. The distance is growing between them, and he's alone. They're leaving. So at this point, you either have realized it's not worth your effort, or Spirit is saying to this person who is standing on their own now, try and seek a win-win situation, a solution to the problem. Come meet in the middle, because you're going to have to melt these snowballs if you want any communication to happen, because people are leaving you. Winter. This is the 5 of winter. Big changes happening. The big change can be that you can figure this out and bring this a connection back together, or the big change is I'm leaving this situation. So that's the first message. It's up to him to make that move. The effort has been made is what I'm being shown. The effort has been made by others, and it's now up to that person, that individual. That's that message. The other message is, okay, so it sounds like your workplace, you're starting to feel these emotions that you're talking about. Okay, so if you're in a negative environment, remove yourself. You know what? It's not all about money, and Spirit will make sure that you get taken care of where you're meant to be. Okay. This is for, who's this for? Liz? Did I just do Liz? You know I stink at this. Who did I just do that for? Is it for Liz? Okay, hold on. You're leaving, good job. So then there's the, okay, so I think I just did Nancy, didn't I? And now I do Liz? Yes. Okay, so Liz, ooh, I like this. Princess of Summer. So here we see this little fairy, and she's sitting in her garden. She looks quite happy. Everything's in full bloom. Princess of Summer. So, summer's about coming to us. It's definitely coming to us here in California. I don't know if it's coming to us or to where you are living. But the message is a new emotional experience. A new relationship or an emotional experience. It's one or the other, or both. It's talking about being invited to social events. It's talking about that you have a friend, a compassionate friend. And remember just now, the 5 of winter is talking about standing in your integrity and showing compassion and being around ones that have that same attitude as you have, a compassionate person. So this girl, she's gentle and she's sensitive. I like that because spiritual people are all very sensitive. So a very gentle, very sensitive person. She's interested in, and this could be a man or a female, male or female that's coming into your life, or it could be speaking about you. To me, gentle, sensitive, shy, interested in other people, but shy. So interested in what's going on, more of an observer. This person is very romantic. This person is in love with the idea of love. Poetic, has a fondness for writing. Writes down the things that they feel about, what they're thinking about, what matters to them. If it's funny, if you approach this person, they have a very giving, open heart. God, I don't want to say this. I'm just gonna. They will listen to what's on your mind. They will hear what you have to say in a very compassionate, gentle way. They will not allow you to cry alone. They're there for you. This person is not very experienced in the world. They're very, very. They perceive the world through their feelings. They're a very. Their emotions rule them. But she's grown up, or he has grown up, and she's been waiting, or he's been waiting for this emotional experience, this very special emotional experience. This is a time where you will possibly get a love letter, an invitation, as I said, to some social event. There's confidential information that comes. Remember, we were speaking about privacy and my concern about respecting privacy. It talks about the importance right now of interpreting dreams. There's going to be dreams. That's why that probably came up with my grandson. There's going to be information that's going to be relayed in dreams. No, this is for. This reading was for Liz. So I know who this person is in my life, and I love the validation. I'm just gonna. I don't want to say any more about my own life, but that's that message. And then the last one is for Kitty, and then I will do one for everyone. I just feel like I've said too much about my twin. It's beautiful on the lake today. I want you guys to see it. It's very calm. Look at the 3 doves flying right there. I don't know if you can see them. There's 3 doves, 3 coming full circle completion. Also higher self, self, and spirit. Look at them. Working as a team. God, I love that. Can you see them, you guys? Of course, we turn around and look right when they come to show themselves. And of course, because doves represent prophecy and soulmate connections and gentleness and peacefulness and taking a breath and relaxing, and the energy of the dove is just harmony. It's my favorite word, harmony. It makes me feel good. That last card, it makes me feel good because it makes me feel like everything I said yesterday was okay, you know, because it comes from love and it's real, and it's describing my twin, and he needed to hear that. He needed to hear that, and I'm glad I said it, even though I was so scared to say it. So I guess that's the message. If you're afraid to share your feelings, don't be. I did it. I was scared, and I did it. Sometimes it can make all the difference in the world. Maybe that's just what needed to happen. That's just something that really needed to be heard right then. You know, maybe there's something that you're holding inside of you that really must be expressed. And when Spirit comes to me and asks me to say things and do things, I'm scared a lot of the times because I worry that, you know, if someone's going to be angry at me. I loved my twin so much, and what I was told that I had to say to him, I was so scared to tell him because they told me I would lose him. Because of what I said, because of what came up, it would cause this series of events to take place. And I literally said to him at the time, I know that you're angry at me, but I would rather have you be angry at me and lose you than have anything happen to you and you be hurt. So I'm going to say it, and I lost him. So I just kind of I undid what I just said, didn't I? Because now you're going to say I don't want to do it. But if you trust Spirit, everything is happening in its highest good. It needed to happen. It had to happen. And what the last part of the message that Spirit gave me was, when you do this, it's going to cause upset. But because of your bravery, and it was brave, because to do that, to know that I might lose what I love the most, it was brave. And because of my bravery, things were going to change. And something that needed to come out was going to come out. And what came out was really hard for him, but it had to come out. And it would be to the ultimate good for everyone involved, is what they showed me. And my trust and faith in Spirit is so strong that 2.5 years later, actually it's almost been 3 years now since I told him, I'm still waiting for the manifestation of him to return and tell me that it's okay now. But I trust in Spirit, and that card was a confirmation to me. So that was an amazing message. So I appreciate that. Bye, Vera. Nice to see you. You're very welcome. Thank you. Blessings. Yeah, it's temporary, but it's been a long temporary, I gotta tell you. Okay, so who was I doing it? Because I'm so sorry. I think it was Liz, right? Gosh, I wish I could see. I can see. This helps me, you know, stops the glare on my eyes, and then it's almost too dark to see the screen, and I've got to kind of like fade in. Who is it? Who is it that's next? Liz. Okay, Liz, and then Kitty, and then the one. Good Lord. So we did Liz. I'm sorry. Kitty. We're doing Kitty. We're doing the kitty cat. Okay. Thank you for helping. Okay, I'm going to put you back over here. I can't hold you. Oh, that's awesome. No, it isn't. Come on, plant, help me out. Help me out here, you guys. Really? Give me a break, will you? Okay. Now I can't see the comments. Okay. What is that? Things have to be turned upside down on their head? Sometimes things have to be turned upside down on their head. That's the only thing I can think that means. I did Nancy and Liz, I know. About the time I move on, he'll come back. That's the way it is. Isn't that a positive Isn't that a positive statement? That's the guy, that's me walking away from the guy holding on to his frozen emotions. You know, I love them, but I gotta keep moving forward. It is true. Okay, kitty. Wow, this is amazing. So release, let go of the past. I guess I'm being told to let go and move on. I don't know, it's strange. Maybe he's being told to let go and move on. I don't know, or maybe we're just supposed to let go of the sadness. You are being told to release. It talks about letting go of the past and an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. So, what's interesting to me is I see this girl in the garden. I don't want to hold this. I see this girl in the garden, and she doesn't look very happy. It's probably how I feel about at this moment. She looks like she's exasperated. She looks like she's lost hope. She looks like she's sad. And in front of her is a peacock. Now, what's interesting about that to me is the peacock represents transformation. The peacock is the bird that most resembles... I spoke about peacock last night. I posted about peacock. I think it was the last thing I said last night before I went to sleep. The peacock talks about using your voice, laughter, keeping things light and happy. It does speak about the peacock being the bird that most resembles the phoenix, which rises from the ashes. So something that you thought was dead and gone is about to rise from the ashes. So it's talking about learning from the past and moving on. So it doesn't necessarily mean releasing that, for me, my twin, or releasing the individual, or for you, you'll understand what it means. It talks about learning from what happened in the past, releasing that and moving forward. It could be relationships, career, health, but when an attachment, see, the attachment is what's bad. When you have an attachment to something, it stops you from moving forward, and it blocks your progress, and it blocks your joy. And the peacock in the front, the peacock talks about joy, talks about laughter and the joyous call. You hear the peacocks, they laugh. And when the changes, it talks about an ending that you've been anticipating, something that you knew was coming, or you're welcoming it. So the something that's rising from the ashes, that's a good thing, even though it can be challenging. So maybe it's something that you've wanted to end. Maybe it's something that you've wanted to be able to release, but still it doesn't mean it's not going to be difficult for you. They're basically saying your future is bright. Don't wait. There's magical opportunities in front of you. They want you to take your first step. So I have to go. I asked this morning, and I asked last night, am I still supposed to go up the coast? And they're saying, take your first steps. The fact that, what does she have? She's got 3 stars. Are they stars? 3 stars. We saw the 3 peacocks, the 3 doves that just flew by. So herself, higher self, and spirit are connected. So she's being guided. There's also roses white roses next to her. The roses, and she keeps them close to her. Roses represent purity. They represent, white roses, purity, innocence. So remember the person that's coming in, this gentle, loving energy. They're innocent in the world. They're not experienced in the world. So she's keeping, I love this message I'm getting now. She knows that we have to move on, but she's keeping this rose, this gentle, innocent, loving, poetic, inexperienced one close to her. She's not letting go. She's holding on. They're releasing something else. They're moving forward. They have the freedom for change. And there's going to be an ending that happens that's going to allow them to move forward. Something is going to end that's going to allow this transformation, reincarnation. That's what comes about with the peacock. The peacock is the phoenix rising from the ashes. So something bad ends in order for something good to happen, and moving on. Like that message. Like, it's 5:55 right there, right on. 5:55. Big changes are rumbling through your entire existence, your life right now. Always for the better. Good idea to keep connected to spirit and keep centered in positive affirmations in order to help this change move along in your highest good in the most smooth manner. I never get the ending right, but it's close to that. No, I'm only doing 3 readings, and now, a white butterfly just came by. Wow. Okay, the white butterfly. There's a specific meaning for the white butterfly. I'll post it for you afterwards, but butterfly clearly is transformation, purity, innocence, Connection to spirit. White butterfly, I think it represents that something that you've been asking for is about to happen. I think that that's what the white butterfly is. I will ask again. You're welcome for the message. Yes, it was perfect. I'm going to do this for everyone now. This is everyone's card. Boy, my mockingbird is singing at the top of her lungs. Just like me. And Lily, my rocking chair that I love so much that's all beat up. I keep a towel on it to keep it from fading because I've got my mother's cushion on it, and I just threw it down on the chaise lounge, and it's interesting. This is going to mean something, and I don't know what it is right now, but Lily had to go sit on it. She's very comfortable on it. Lil, what you telling us? Hi, Mama. Hi. Why are you on that little towel? Why are you on the towel? Huh? What does that mean? Can you tell me what that means, sweetheart? It's a white towel. Oh, I think I've got it. Okay, so Lily represents myself and my twin, and it's a white towel, a towel to soak up the emotion, because the frozen snow is melting, and she's sitting on it to absorb all the frozen snow. I like that. That's my interpretation. You guys can have your own. Isn't she beautiful? I know she's beautiful. I love her. Oh, right when I said that, she looked up at me. I love you. I do love you. Do you know what's really interesting? My twin said to me, I always talk about him, that he's half Anunnaki. I don't know if you guys know what Anunnaki is, but I was afraid of it for a very long time because they're the reptilians. He's half Anunnaki, but they are helping the world. They're not all bad. We're all coming together. All the different star planets, all the different people. They are the ones that the Anunnaki created man. God created the Anunnaki, and it was like I'm not going to get into the whole thing right now, but they're very powerful beings. That's why my twin has got this incredible power. It's also the darkness in him, but they have, the Anunnaki are helping the people right now. And when you look at Lily's eyes, I'm going to show you. I don't know if she'll do it right now, but if you look at her eyes big, she has the eyes of a snake. And if you look at her closely, I've zoomed in on her eyes before, and they are incredible. Lily, look up and show everybody. Your eyes they're too closed. Show them your eyes. Show them your eyes. Did you see that? Her eyes are reptilian. So that is my twin in her. It's a trip when I saw her eyes. And what's interesting is the part of her and me, my daughter says, Mom, she can't see. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, she seems to look right through you. Because, she says, and I said, she can see right through you. And when I look at her, when her eyes are big, she looks like the owl, which is me, the seer. So, and he is as well. My twin, as the dragonfish, can't see his food. He's got small eyes. He goes by scent or by feel or by vibration. And I told you that I do something special for him with his food. I take his food and it's flake food, and I get a clump of it in my hand, and I wet it, and I mold it into a little ball. It takes me, I take, I take special care of the food that I deliver, and because I know it's difficult for him, I don't want to pollute the water with all this flakes, flying around. So I bring it all together in one place, which is here. And this is how I deliver my message to my twin. But I mold it into a little ball, and then I drop it in. So this morning, Merlin went around the other side, and I said, see how fast you can get this, Merlin. See how good you're getting, and how quick you can pick up on this. And I dropped it into the tank completely on the other side, and he was on it in seconds. I'm like, dang, you are so tuned in. He was just like on it. He's on it. So we are connecting very, very well. I love that. So that's the, and when you think about it, Merlin, he's a dragonfish, but he's actually an eel, which is a sea snake, the reptilian, and my twin is a Pisces. So we wrap it all together. It's pretty freaking cool. Okay, what is somebody saying? Oh, yes, awesome. So Bree says she's been listening to lots of music. I am a woman in my power. Song helps to uplift me. So many messages. Absolutely. For me, song goes all the time. 24/7. I have music going, not 24/7. When I go to bed around midnight, I turn off the radio As soon as I get up on the morning, I turn it on. The radio announcers, everything that they have to say is a message to me. I hear in the fifth dimension. And you know, I think that we are all sliding past, the ones that are spiritually awakened, we are in the fifth dimension now. We are there. We're on it. We're now waiting for, to hear what's coming next. What are you bringing us next? Because we're already listening. We're here listening to songs. We're listening to animal totems. We're listening to overheard conversations. Everything that comes out of anyone's mouth has got a message in it for me, and people are hearing it, and we're all hearing it. So we are now living in the fifth dimension. We are no longer living in the 3D reality. We, awakened ones, are living in the fifth dimension, and it's pretty freaking exciting. My grandson has been in the fifth dimension since he was born. He's here to lead his generation to even higher and greater things, and it's pretty stinking cool. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I want to know what's next for me. I want to know what you're bringing me next. What can I remember from before? You know, I said I wanted to remember my language. I wanted to speak the language of the animals. Please let me have my language back. And I understood that if I understood my language and I could just talk to Lily, I'd just be talking to her. But if I had to learn what each animal meant when they came to me, I would be able to teach other people. And there would be many, many more messages, because I can listen to my mockingbird sing, and I can say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? But if I tell you what the mockingbird means, there are so many more messages in what they mean than the song they sing. That way I can sing their song that they sing to me. So it's freaking cool. Your battery's almost gone. Sorry. Okay, you want to hear the end. All right, I'm going to do the last reading. I got to go anyway. I go on too much. I do. Sometimes less is more. Go to the trees. If anyone needs trees, you do. Oh, I know. Alcampra, I would love that. I remember my goddess, I told you my goddess statue that I made has a nest on top of her head. I gotta go to the trees. Okay. Hi, Joy. I love you. Okay, this is for everybody. Dang. That was exciting, I guess. Hey, maybe they just want me to hold you. They want me to hold you, so I'm holding you in my arms. I'm giving you love. Wow, this is awesome. The Empress. I love the Empress. The Empress is so connected. The Empress, look up who the Empress is. Go to Biddy Tarot Empress and read about the Empress. I love her. I'm very connected to her. She has got in front of her this little pea pod, and inside of it she's got, can you guys see that? She's got a little baby. A brand new baby, a new creation, a new birth has happened. And she is, to me, what's interesting is she's got fairies assisting her. And of course, to me, they're fairies of the forest. And they're assisting her. And she is the queen. They call her the Empress, but she is the queen. She is like the fairy godmother. She's the fairy godmother. And there's a new creation that's being born. And what she's saying is the time to take action. It's the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. So she is bestowing success. Look at the number 3. Number 3. What we saw from the very beginning when we all started talking and the doves showed up. 3. Full circle completion. What are you saying? Hi, my friend. Just popped on. You know what? I don't know how to pronounce her whole long Indian name. It's just massively long. But her name is Devana, that I know, so I'm saying hi to Devana. Oh God. Okay, so the Empress is talking about the planning phase is over. Okay, the planning is over. The Empress is here to say it's time to move. It's time. Remember, we've got releasing and letting go and moving on and moving forward. So the endeavor is now. Congratulations, you've done the work. You've done the work. You've been sorting out what it is that you want to accomplish. We've been, putting out our rockets of desire about what it is that we want to bring into fruition. Like for me, I want to do my walking meditations. That's what I want to do. That's what Spirit wants me to do in the forest, where the rivers meet the ocean. That's what I want to do. So they're saying no more contemplating this. And if there's any details that seem to be missing, which, yeah, I don't have my trailer, I don't have my RV, I don't have somewhere that I can stay, that I can do this, easily, that I can bring Lily and Liger. I don't have that yet, but they're saying it'll reveal itself as I move forward. So they want me to keep, they want us all to tune into our fairy godmother who is with us, assisting us with the fairies all around, and recognize that the information that we need is going to be brought to us. Right now, they're saying that this is a time that your creative endeavors are favored. This is a time where you're going to have success. So if you've been thinking of a project, if you've been thinking about doing something, now's the time to put it into fruition, because you're going to be blessed with this. This also, since the Empress is standing in front of a cradle with a baby, the pea pod, this also represents, if you were trying to have children, this would be a good time. This would be a time that conception would be, it would happen. It also talks about, oh wow, ringing in my ear. Ringing in my ear. When it talks about your baby is your project. I just got a hit from Spirit. I wondered if my twin had a baby, and I'm getting that it was his project, it was his baby. That was just a hit. That's interesting. So taking up this project and nurturing this baby that you have, whenever it's possible, they want you to use your creative abilities, your intuitive abilities, to add your own specific personal artistic flair, you know, to every step as you go along, because we need to make this our own. You know, other people can watch. I've got a lot of people that watch, and I've been shown from Spirit for quite a while, you know, be careful, somebody's copying you. They're watching you and they're copying you. And I'm thinking, watch me. You're never going to be me. And the thing is, it's okay if we take a little bit from somebody. You know, I like the way they do that, but make it your own. Take your own. It's okay to do that. We all learn from watching others, right? Our kids learn from us. We learn from watching others. When we have mentors that we admire and others that we look up to, of course we learn from their example. But Spirit's wanting us to add our own artistic flair. Make this your own. I do things differently than other people do. And at first I was kind of chastised for it, and I was ridiculed for it, and people thought it was weird, and I just said, you know, this is how I know how to do things. I don't take classes. I don't ask somebody else how to do this. Spirit said that they would teach me and to do things my own way, and so this is what I do. So they're asking for you to do this. The fact that if you could, can you see closely enough? Can you see that baby that's inside? Can you see the baby that's inside this pea pod? I want you to notice something. This baby is not unaware. This baby is not innocent. This baby is not innocent as in naive. This baby is very connected. This baby is awakened. This is an adult. This is called, they show that, and this baby is holding on to a telescope. This baby can see ahead. This baby is this gentle person that we spoke about. This person that may not be experienced in the world, but they are experienced in spirit. They have an idea. They have been able to see into the future. They have got this telescope that has been able to see the stars. This person is very, very, this is a crystal child or an indigo child. I find that really intriguing. So it may appear to others that this one is a babe. Maybe it's a babe to relationships. Maybe this person has never gone out on their own and done this on their own. Maybe they're starting out a whole new life for themselves. And so to them, they're like a brand new baby. It's a new start. This person has risen from the ashes. That's why this person is a baby. This person is very connected. This person is very knowledgeable. This person is filled with vision. This person, to others out there, may appear like they're not able to handle what's out in the world, but they are guided by their connection to spirit. Their telescope takes them right up to spirit, and they have now gone through this metaphorical death, and they have been reborn, and they are now the phoenix rising that we saw with the woman who sat next to that the white roses that represented innocent and purity and gentleness. This person has the heart of a child. This person has the love of a child, the innocence. I love this person. This person is my twin. It is. It is. And for you, I don't know who it is, but it is my twin. And it's the beginning of a whole new life, and it's the beginning of a whole new adventure. And it's talking about hard work that's paying off. It talks about you know, inventions and success that comes from your endeavors. It talks about the love of beautiful things. I love beautiful things. If you see me when I go hiking, you probably would laugh. I don't dress like most people dress when I go hiking. It talks about getting a lot done. It talks about nurturing yourself and nurturing others, clearly, because you're, I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's on my lap. It's on my lap. It's said it's like Lily is cradled and holding. It's nurturing. It's loving. It's the goddess energy. It's the feminine, divine goddess energy that we all are, that has taken over the world. The masculine, angry energy of the divine. It's not that divine masculine is bad, but the divine masculine energy is no longer in control of this planet. The divine goddess energy, the feminine, intuitive, loving, nurturing energy, that's what is that is what is going to save this planet. That is what is bringing people up out of their metaphorical darkness, from their metaphorical death, into their transformation and their rebirth. We are birthing through love. Love is what's bringing this all about. And it talks about thinking about mother figures. Who is the mothering figure in your life? You can have a man who is a mothering figure in your life that has in touch with his feminine side and is nurturing. That's why I always say, never mistaken a gentle person for a weak one, because they are strong. Mothers are strong as hell. It's not easy to have a baby. I've had 2 and I almost died having both of them, but I was able to deliver them both. And I delivered them. I didn't have cesareans, and those children are both very strong, healthy kids. It talks about pregnancy and birth. So all of these things come about with that card. I love that for all of us, because we all are bringing we all have the ability to bring what we want into fruition. My grandson is manifesting things for himself overnight. When you believe in your connection to spirit, and you have faith, even though it's taken a long time to manifest, think about pregnancy. 10 months of being pregnant, and it's not comfortable. I was sick from the second I got pregnant, violently sick. I couldn't keep anything down for 3 months. When I was 3.5 months pregnant, I was probably 15 pounds thinner than I was before I got pregnant. I was so thin, couldn't eat. I threw up every single night, everything. It didn't matter. It was horrible. I almost died having the babies. It took forever. It felt like I was pregnant forever. You know that for somebody else watching, it's only been 10 months. But when you're pregnant, it feels like forever. Well, I've had this relationship with my twin, and it feels like this birthing process has been taking forever. But when that baby comes, and when that birth happens, you forget all about it. You forget about the pain. I was in labor for 3.5 days. 3.5 days I was in labor. I was so exhausted that I would pass out in between contractions. The only thing that would wake me up was the excruciating pain. The doctor said the baby's not going to make it. She's not going to make it. Said to my mom, you're going to have to choose one. And my mom wouldn't. I said, no, I want the baby born. And then my mother said to choose the baby, or to choose me, and I said no. And by then it was too late for them to take him out of the birth canal by forceps, so they had to just allow my body to do what it was going to do. And I was hell if I was going to let that baby die. So all of a sudden, we went from nothing to boom, he was there. They said that he had a hole in his heart. They were going to have to take him away. I'm thinking about my twin right now. They said he had a hole in his heart. They were going to have to take him away. And he didn't have a hole in his heart. When he was born, he had a little bit of an indentation in his heart. But it was fine. And they didn't have to take him away. My son is amazing. And he's 6'3.5", and he's beautiful, and he's tall, and he's successful. And he's my soulmate, and I love him even if he's not here. And Devin, I'm going to say it to you right now. I love you. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I miss you. And I know this is your path. And no matter how long it takes before you come back, you'll always be in my heart. I love you very much. That's for my son. So, thanks everybody. It's hard to lose your child, It's really hard to lose your child when he's alive. So there's a message. If you are a child and you're having a difficult time with your mother, make up. Do what you can to make up. If you can't control things, but do your part. What your mother had to go through to bring you into this world, you will never understand until you do it yourself. And it's very, very difficult to lose a child in death. And my heart breaks for you who have had that happen. But to lose a child while they're alive is the most excruciating. So I'm speaking to somebody specifically. No matter what your mother has done, don't cut her out of your life. If you need to keep a distance, that's okay. You can love from a distance, but send your mother love. That's my final closing comment. I want to see if you guys had anything to say. I can't read this. It's in the light. It's in the light. Okay. The description for, I told you to go look up. God, what did I tell you to go look up? It's floating around my head. Thank you. Much love to you as well. Go look up. I said, can you remind me what I was telling you to go look up? I'm sorry. I can't think right now. I'm very emotional. It happens. You know what? Isn't that another thing that's happening right now? I'm not normally this emotional, but I think the higher I get and the closer I get to spirit, the more connected I get to source, the more emotional I have, and the more my emotions coming to the surface. I spent many, many years of my life holding my emotions inside and not sharing them and not exposing them. And this is a message to allow the tears to fall, because it's very healthful. It's very helpful. It's very healing. It's very honest and raw, and it's good for emotion to be expressed. It helps other people release their emotions as well. The Empress. Oh, Biddy Tarot. Just look up the Empress. I like the Biddy Tarot myself. B-I-D-D-Y. I like their description of the Empress. Look at me. Do I have black streaks running down my eyes from crying? Biddy Tarot. Look up the Empress. She's amazing. Okay. Thank you. Does it include trust in yourself? I don't know. I'm so sorry that I didn't see these as I went along. I will listen to this later, and if I can answer you, I will. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's very important to be very real and be honestly who we are. The message feels good. You're starting your life after 13 years in a marriage. You're starting a new life. Perfect. Perfect. Spirit knows. Yes, Joy. Like your calendars. Joy makes these beautiful calendars. Joy is a photographer, I told you, like me. And she makes calendars, and I told her to make a cat calendar. I'm going to show you her calendar. This month we have the Morning Glory. Run, Forest, run. Isn't that a message? There's my grandson, you guys. This is my grandson, Trey. Isn't he the most beautiful little thing you've ever seen in your entire life? If you could see his eyes, they're like crystal diamonds, blue diamonds. This is Joy's calendar. And she makes them every year, and they're beautiful. It was like $10, I think. Beautiful pictures by Joy Smith. Look at the horse. This was the new beginning. Everything that has come so far in this calendar came appropriately with the messages that I was getting. The irises, that I grew up with these blue irises. There's a meaning for the blue iris. Look it up. Look up the blue iris meaning. It's important for you. The little cat hiding behind the blue Morning Glory. Yes, my cat was hiding. The black and white cat's interesting. Here we have the lotus flower coming up through the mud. And that's what we have to do as lotus flowers. We're going to rise to the light, and we're going to come through something that was dark and difficult, and we're going to come and rise and be incredibly beautiful. Then we see the cormorant standing on the rock, and it's ready to take flight. And the cormorant is the one that says that you can go down under your emotional waters, and you can rise up above. The cormorant is the diving bird. It goes down deep under its emotional waters to recover what it needs. The cormorant was badass. Then we have the Morning Glories this month. Next month we've got gooseberries and salmonberries and blackberries. I guess they're blackberries, so that represents where I'm supposed to be headed, because that's what I grew up with in the colder climate. Then we've got this incredible sunset, which talks, you think about our Father. Oh, sunset meditations. Then we see the spider webs with the spider webs is the web of creation. We are all creating. And it's got the dewdrops. Now this is a spider web that has been left because every morning they either tear them down or they start a new one. But look at the beautiful jewels that the spider webs that we could create. It's talking about the jewels that we create in our lives with our own. Then we've got this beautiful picture of the full moon. Incredible full moon. We just had a full moon talking about letting go of what no longer is serving our highest good. Then we've got the Canadian geese, a pair, which is amazing because I am a Canadian. And the Canadian geese, their main message to me is the Canadian geese never leave a wounded bird behind. If one bird falls, one in the pack will stay with them. They will not leave them. They will not abandon them. Like I will never abandon my twin. I will not leave him. Then we've got the hummingbird. Now what's interesting on this one is the hummingbird is sitting on a branch. And the hummingbird represents joy. It represents you will accomplish what may seem impossible to yourself and others. And the hummingbird is sitting here. So it's reminding us, and it's green, the color of love and the color of healing. And it's reminding us that we don't have to do everything. Spirit is going to help us. We don't have to do it all. That's Joy's calendar for this year. And I would suggest, she's on my Facebook friend. She's my Facebook friend. If you want to get a calendar, $10. They're beautiful. She's doing another one. And like, as I said, I asked her to do one of all cats because I would love that for myself. Hi, Uncle Phil. Hi, Uncle Phil. You love that message? Divine Goddess energy is very powerful. Yes, it is. Oh my God, oh my God. Thank you, Spirit. That long. What's that long? I don't know what that long is. I have been here. I have been there, yes. Probably my mom and dad. The Empress. It's Biddy Tarot. B-I-D-D-Y. Yeah, Sandy got it. White is innocence. Wow, didn't know that. They're faithful. Joy. Leanne says, about a week or so, I asked Spirit to show me a lotus if I was on the right path. There you go. And you just got it again. You were on the right path. You're very welcome. Hey, Uncle Phil, people are saying hi to you. Uncle Phil's awesome. Uncle Phil's a drummer. He's a guitar player. He's a singer. He is a multi-talented musical guru. He's my mentor. He looks like Santa Claus. He's got long white hair and he's got a big white beard and he's the most gentle, loving. He's like a teddy bear. I got to tell you, I love him. I love him, I love him, I love him. And he is my surrogate uncle. He's not truly my blood. So this is talking about those of us who don't have a family that's with us. Like my son is not in my life, right? My dad, my mom, my mother's gone. She's dead. My real father's dead. My other father's out of my life. But I have a surrogate family in Wisconsin, and Uncle Phil's my uncle. And what's funny is he's only like probably 15 years older than me. I don't even know if it's that. He's a friend of mine. His uncle and then Uncle Phil's younger daughter, Mama Sherry. That's why you may hear me talk about Mama Sherry. She's my mama, and Papa Terry is his dad, and that's my papa. And these people are my family, and they're my soul family. So even if we don't have a family, a natural family, we have family that we've chosen. You know, sometimes people in your family, and remember I said no matter what your mother's done, love her. You can love your mother. If your mother is toxic and causing difficulty in your life, no one says that you need to be there, because you don't, even if it is your mother or even if it is your father. And sometimes the people that are in our family aren't our friends, and sometimes they never will be. Sometimes we won't connect with them. We will do whatever is in our power to have love, unconditional love. But unconditional love doesn't say I'm a doormat, doesn't say I'm open to abuse. So sometimes just because someone's in a family doesn't mean, you know, they're going to be your friends. But you can choose people as a family, and they can be a more loving, stronger, nurturing family to you than your natural family ever was. You're very welcome. I've got so many soul sisters. I'll be your soul sister. I've got tons of soul sisters, soul family. You guys are my family. Like seriously, I've formed connections with people. Your mother-in-law is very toxic. Yeah, my mom was very toxic too. We had a love-hate relationship until the day she died, and we have a great relationship now that she's in spirit. She figured it out. and I recognize there's a lot of amazing, wonderful things about my mom too. And there's a lot of things that happened in my mother's life that I wasn't aware of until, unfortunately, later. And I now understand what made her the way she is. And it was very hard for her to love, even though I know she loved me and was proud of me. Okay. I'm going to let it go because I haven't worked at all today. I am literally have to start working. This is ridiculous. I do spend way too much time talking to you guys. So thank you for being on. It was really fun. Do you want to do a solar meditation really quick? Since we're out here. Let's look up to the sun. I do this with you guys every time. Hello, sun. You're bright and beautiful today. We're going to ask if you wouldn't mind to shine your golden ray all over us, and we want you to melt off of our shield any toxic energy, any fear, worry, doubt, any negative energy from others that have come against us, any of our own worry, our own self, our own angry words, anything that we've held inside of our own selves, any sickness, anything that's not in our highest good. We would like it to be melted away with these golden rays of the heat sun. We can see the molten lava. It's so powerful, the fireball that you are. And we're going to ask that that energy spin like a vortex, spinning outward all the way around us. But down through the center of it, you pull in unconditional love. So unconditional love comes in and it fills us. And as it spins all the way out and around. And
it continually is filling us and spinning out and going out around us. So it's creating this solar shield, this golden shield, this golden ray, which only allows unconditional love in and only will allow unconditional love to go out, so that our intensive energy or whatever that we carry with ourselves does not go on and affect anyone else. We ask that this golden shield spin around our pets, our cars, our workplaces, our homes, our loved ones. Feel that burning. I can feel the sun burning on me right now, and I can see the colors. What's interesting right now, I'm seeing hot purple and pink, passion, love. I literally see love ignited. It's beautiful. It's hot pink right now. Hot pink and orange, to me, that's the sacral chakra that's spinning. Sacral is the seat of your creativity and your sexual energy. There's a very high sexual energy that's moving. The sexual energy is your highest source of spiritual creation. So use that energy to create what it is in your life that you wish to create, and which is, to me, is more love. Bring more love in and send more love out. And I am completely blind right now. Smiles and waves. Goodbye. It does feel great, doesn't it? Thank you so much. If you guys like to follow me, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google+, I'm on Instagram. My email is sherrycolumbus@yahoo, all connected, SherryColumbus. If you would like help with dream analysis, I'm a long-distance Reiki healer. I'm a Reiki master, licensed. I'm a licensed dream analyst. I do private readings. I do personal tours on the land. I would love somebody to join me. I'm heading up the coast of California. If anybody is going up the coast of California, or you're living up that way, if you'd like to join me, let me know. I'd love to see you. I'm going to leave it at that. Who's talking right now? Thank you for the reading. You're confused as the mother thing seems to contradict my card, but I was confused already. Okay, so how does I need to answer that? Why does it contradict your card? Because it's talking about walking away? You're very welcome, Kim. Because it's talking about walking away. I just said that love your mother unconditionally. If you are in a toxic environment, you are not to keep yourself there. It's not in your highest good. You are to walk away from it. You are to walk away, but you are to keep unconditional love in your heart, and you send that out. If you are capable, if it's in your power, if it's a situation where you have had a distance with your mother or anyone, the reading is for everyone. If it's within your power to forgive, and to allow this person in your life, have respect for your mother. The Bible says respect your mother and father so it may go well with you. Respecting your mother and father doesn't mean that they get to hit you. It doesn't mean that they get to abuse you. So walking away is in your own self-protection. It isn't contradictory. I walked away from my mother. It didn't mean I didn't love her. I loved her very much, but I did walk away from her. I shut her out of my life because she was very toxic. So I hope that that helps, because that's what it meant. Does help? Okay, cool. All right. Peace, love, and golden light. Oh, Lily wants to say goodbye. Want to say goodbye, Mom girl? Want to walk up and say goodbye to everyone? Say bye, Uncle Phil. Bye, Uncle Phil. Bye.